WTC is here, and in fact, we are through day one, and what a day it has been. This is Tyrants on the Field, and we are recapping it, no cap, all the way, and we're then going to go ahead and make our predictions for day two. What a day one! My goodness, an absolute marathon, 3 games. And at the end of today, we have 4 undefeated teams. And those 4 are USA Condor, Germany Welpertinger, England Paddington, and Poland Ard. What a fantastic Final Four that we have. And the top 8 also phenomenal. We have in 5th place currently Canada Terry Fox. In 6th, USA Bison. In 7, USA Jackrabbits. And in 8th, Italy Phoenix. What a field that we are now down to this top 8 with a lot of other folks still vying and viable to try to make podium. But the trick for this top 8 is to remain there, climb up as much as they can, and attempt a podium. And for the top 4, it's about getting that championship. It's getting that number 1 spot. What an event. Some really cool bits about our top 4. Each of the top 4 teams has a Shadow Flame Shard player. 3 of the 4 have a Signar Storm Legion player. 3 of the 4 also have a Gravediggers player. 3 of the 4 have an Infernals player. 2 of the 4 have a Brine Buds player. 2 of the 4 have a Necrofactorum player. 1 has an Orgoth player. 1 has an Old Umbry player. And 1 has a Duskhouse Callus player. What a field. Absolutely insane. Different routes to get here. Some very hard-fought matches for USA Condor. Their route passed through. In round 1, they had Austria Legacy. In round 2, they had the aforementioned Italy Phoenix. And in round 3, they had England King's Cross. German Walpertinger had a rout. In round 1, they took down Poland Ignini 5-0. In round 2, they took on the Australian Kookaburras and beat them 3-2. They were rewarded in round 3 by having to face Australian Numbats, and they beat Australian Numbats 4-1. In their 4th round, they will take on undefeated Poland Ard. Can they complete the sweep of the Polish team after completing the sweep of the Australian team? Germany Walpertinger being absolutely efficient and effective. The might of Germany on full display this WTC. And then we have England Paddington, aka the kitchen table legends themselves, Jamie Perkins and crew. And they had a rout of Sweden Fenris up first, where they won 3-2. In round 2, they had to take on Canada Terry Fox. They won 3-2. In round 3, they took on USA Jackrabbits and were able to pull out a 4-1 victory there. In round 4 for their troubles, they get to take on USA Condor. So America and Britain at it again for the right to enter the finals of the WTC. What a fantastic match play. And then finally, Poland-Ard. Poland-Ard started their day by taking on Canada Frederick Banting, beating them 4-1. Poland-Ard then got rewarded by playing Finland-Morco, beating them 3-2 in a very tense game, and then followed it up on a streamed game. So you can watch all of this on stream, round 3, Poland-Ard and Germany Eirlichter. Absolutely phenomenal games all the way through, 3-2, nail biter, all the way to the finish, worth the watch. So what can we glean from all of this? Well, each of these compositions ask very difficult questions repeatedly of the opposing side. And they have some very innovative answers generally. Um, each of them are playing a little bit off script. On the American team, you've got a pairing of Nixian and Shirus. Nixian being the outlier. Nixian was dropped twice in the first 2 rounds. You've got, again, Justin Dew playing Infernals, and he's playing Zat and Agathon. You've got Blake playing Harusk Sabrith, a little bit different take on the Sabrith list compared to what has kind of been stock standard. Gravedigger's side, you've got Brandon Owens on Vargas and Jakes. And then you've got Brad Park on Kythos and good old Decathus. So one of the few folks running Decathus this event. And running him 2 out of the 3 rounds. Playing extremely well throughout the event. The entirety of the team has. Condor is 13-2 in terms of their overall individual records. They're 13-2. They've only dropped 2 games over the 3. Out of all 15 games they've played, they've only dropped 2. Germany Walpertier 12-3, only dropped 3 games over the course of the entire event as a team. Again, playing a little bit different Shadow Flame Shard, Kevin Knox, with Kyrax and Rassic. And again, Rassic being played 2 of the 3 rounds, winning one of those 2 rounds. So it's paying to bring something a little off meta. It really is. And on their Gravedigger side, they're running Kane and Boom Boom. So again, a little off script, a little off what we would expect. We'd expect the Jakes in there. Boom Boom, a little less off script. Kane, very off script, but highly effective. Beckman on the Storm Legion side, again, it's Huxley Calder, but it's Calder with a Maelstrom. You know, something very different than what most of the folks have brought to the field. So you're just running that little bit of off meta, and it's paying off in great dividends. They're playing Aslanov, and they're playing Yana. So Aslanov, highly popular. Yana, a little less popular. Aslanov, all 3 rounds, 3-0 with Aslanov. Great caster when played efficiently. And then on the Crick side of things, Zeus is running Subsera with a Hellraker. So again, off meta. Kythos is the drop. He's bringing Subsera. And he's got a Viscerus, and he's got a Hellraker in there as well. So again, different flavors. Different flavors are helping to get these teams over the top. We talked about England Paddington at length in their episode. You've got Perkins with the Wyverns in his builds. Very different than what we normally see meta-wise. We've got Brines here. And we've got Brines of Ragemonger and Foulblood. Again, one of the 2 folks to bring Foulblood to the event. On the Gravedigger side, you've got Boom Boom and Vargas paired up with, again, slightly different builds to the rest of the field. So bringing that innovation, bringing that cutting edge where you can go ahead and take advantage of little nuances. Poland, who we did not review their lists prior to. Poland, you've got an Omidamos and Zadarov pairing for their Infernals, which is pretty stock standard. On the Shadowflame, or I'm sorry, not on the Shadowflame Shard side, on the Storm Legion side, they've got a Madison Calder running a bit more of just the base infantry. You've got 3 Legionnaires, 3 Stormguard Legionnaires, 2 Stormblade Legionnaires. You've got Single Assailer, Black 13th, Double Lance, General Single Corsair. And then they're backing that up with Kane. So again, not taking Huxley, taking Kane. A little different, little nuance, little wrinkle. On the Brine Blood side, for good old Poland Ard, we have a Ragemonger list, and that is backed up by Shadow Tongue. So again, one of the few folks bringing Shadow Tongue out to play. On the Dust side of things, for Poland, you've got Hazaroth and Moraine as the pairing. Hazaroth Phantasm, double Archer, double Cav. This Hazaroth list is 3-0. This Hazaroth list has taken down Gravediggers, it has taken down Convergence of Cirrus, and it's taken down Gravediggers. That Hazaroth list is about as off-meta as you can get. And then on the Shadowflame Shard side of things, you've got a Shyrus Trike, but with 4 units of Quickfang Stalkers. Again, off-meta. You've got Kyrax. On the Kyrax side, you've got double Incarnate Knights and double Quickfang Stalkers. You've got Shades, you've got Death Dealers, and you've got Talon Lashers. You have an extremely heavy infantry build with Kyrax. With just 2 Vipaxes, 2 cheapo Vipexes to back it up. One with Hunter's Mark, one with Jason. Pythia's in the mix as well. It is there to take advantage of feet. It is there to help clear infantry. So you've got a Polish team that has been highly effective and efficient in finding ways to win through 3 rounds, getting here, getting themselves set up to have a chance at the podium, and getting to take on German Walpertinger for the right to do so in round 4, which goes off tomorrow. You've got Condor and Paddington, very different styles, very different list combinations, although at their core, they do share 3. Paddington and Condor both taking Shadowflame Shard, both taking Gravediggers, and both taking Infernals. So you've got 2 very strong Infernals players on each of the teams. You have 2 incredibly strong, 2 of the absolute best in the world for certain, Shadowflame Shard players in Perkins and JVM. You've got 2 very skilled Gravediggers players in Chris Clare and Brandon Owens. And then you have some wild cards in the fact that we've got Brian Bloods and Storm Legion on England Paddington, and then on the USA side we have Orgoth and Necrofactorium. Absolute phenomenal matchup. I look forward to seeing how these pairings go down. I look forward to the matchups between Walpetinger and Ard. In Walpetinger and Ard, you have crossover of Shadowflame Shard, crossover of Storm Legion, and that is where the crossover ends. There is a giant difference of 3 in Poland Ard versus Walpetinger. Poland Ard electing for Dusk, Brine Bloods, and Infernals, and Walpertinger bringing Gravediggers, Old Umbry, and Necrofactorium. What's even crazier is as we expand out to the top 8 currently, as of the end of round 3, start of round 4, you have, again, candidate Terry Fox with their double Old Umbry. So that is where the Old Umbry stops across the board for the current top 8. You have 2 instances of Italy Phoenix also has an Old Umbry. So you've got 3 Old Umbry in the 5 through 8 slot. You have 2 Gravediggers in the 5 through 8 slot, 2 Storm Legion in the 5 through 8 slot, 2 Orgoth in the 5 through 8 slot, 1 Exalted, 1 Infernal, 1 Dark Operations, 3 Necrofactorium, 1 Brine Blood, 2 Dusk House Callus, and 2 Winter Core. So if I stopped you on the street and asked you if you thought Winter Core was going to be on 2 of the armies in the top 8 after 3 rounds, I think half of you would have laughed at us. But yet here they are. Now they have a 48% win rate for the event to date. Again, through 3 rounds. So some work to do for certain for those players. But a lot going on. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these numbers because I think it is very important that we take a peek after 3 rounds of where things are at holistically from a meta perception. So jumping over to it, we have a couple of really fun win rates that I want to talk about a little bit. Shout out to Severe and Shadows of Retribution, 3-0, 100% for the event. Shout out to Eric Akers and the Exalted, 3-0. with Exalted. 100%. Final interdiction. Final interdiction, 6 games played, meaning 2 people on them. So the 2 final interdiction players went 5-1, 83% win rate for the event thus far through 3 rounds. So 5-1. Fantastic. Dark Operations. This is a small sample size, but it is a larger sample size. So 6 players at the event, 18 games played, 14-4, 78% win rate. 78% win rate on Dark Operations. Thexus 7-6, or 7 games played, 6-1. Kythos 3-0, and Siphon 8 games played, 5-3. Absolutely phenomenal for dark operations. Thexus especially. Also special mention to the 2 folks playing Storm of the North. Storm of the North had 6 games played, 4-2, 67% win rate. And again, shout out to the singular Soldiers of Fortune player, 3 games played, 2-1, 67% win rate. Okay, on to the fun numbers. Through 3. Old Umbry, 27-18, 60% win rate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 casters registering games played and registering wins. None of their casters with less than a 50% win rate. Lowest is Kovaleski, who is 1-1 for a 50% win rate for Yana. Reznikova, 7 games played, 4-3, 57% win rate. Galina Lysia is 5 games played, 3-2, 60% win rate. Aslanov, the big dog in the clubhouse, 26 games played, 16-10, 62% win rate. And it's your boy, Boudin Lesnoy. 3 games played, 2-1, 67% win rate. More people should have brought it. Stand by it. Absolutely great win rates today for Old Umbry. And where do those wins come from in Old Umbry specifically? So let's go ahead and go into the analysis of it. The bulk of those wins, we actually have to adjust their win rate because their win rate is actually higher because there was 8 games played between Umbry on Umbry. So of the 45, I will have to adjust that out. Give me a moment. So it should be about a 61% win rate, just about. Again, brings their record from 27-18 to 23-14. When you take out those Umbry on Umbry crimes, so it actually just raises the percentage of the wins for the faction by 1%. But is an interesting bit of knowledge. But when we talk about the actual most wins, they absolutely tore up Signar, and by that I mean Storm Legion, and also tore up Gravediggers, and also tore up Shadowflame Shard. So 5 games against Storm Legion, Old Umbry won 4. In the 2 games against Gravediggers, they won 2. In the 5 games against Shadowflame Shard, they won 5 games. They won 1 game into Rulik Guard, 1 game into Grimkin, 1 game into Armies of the Western Reaches. They won 2 of the 4 games into Infernals. They won 1 of the 2 games in Italian Charter. They won 2 of the 4 games into Brine Bloods. They won 2 of the 5 games into Crix for 40% win rate. They won one of the 3 games into Sea Raiders, and they won one of the 4 games into Dusk House Callus. And that is how the wins shake out for our dear friends at the Old Umbry factory. But Old Umbry is fascinating to me in its adoption rate, so far its play rate, and how well it is doing. Although I think a lot of why it is doing so well is it is kind of sidestepping the meta right now. The meta is highly focused on a defensive skew. And while there are elements and ways to do a similar defensive skew for Old Umbry, most have elected not to bring that and instead are focusing on a heavy armor build where you're building an armor brick. That requires some very specific damage tools to be able to get over. And most of the meta is not tooled up enough to be able to get through that right now. And that is a testament to understanding where the meta is at, what this new faction can do and can bring, and aligning to it. Now, part of that was enabled because list lock was pushed back to enable the Bear Cav to be a part of the army for this WTC cycle. And it's definitely had an effect on the efficiency and the effectiveness of Old Umbry at the event. The 60% win rate is nothing to sneeze at. 62% on Aslanov, nothing to sneeze at. Again, he's playing a brick, and while a brick isn't new, a brick is not where this meta has been. This meta has been trying to hit things, not trying to break armor. Because breaking armor was generally something that just kind of happened in the course of the game. And now Old Umbry is able to generate numbers in mass that are more difficult to sustainably get through in a consistent fashion. And that is really the value that Old Umbry brings to the table in some of these pairings and matches. They're able to curate their matchups a little bit, although they are seeing a variety of play, as evidenced through the amount. And you have several of them in, you have one of them in the top 4 remaining, and you have 4 of them in the top 8. So, some food for thought while we're thinking about it through the end of day 1. Also of note, Gravedigger's 58% win rate. Couple of fun things here. Kane dropped 3 times, 2 and 1, 67% win rate. Vargas, by far the most played caster for Gravediggers. 22 games, 14 and 8, 64% win rate. McCoy, 11 games played, 7 and 4, 64% win rate. Jake's 11 games played, 5 and 6, 45% win rate. Where have Gravediggers been excelling? Where are they getting their wins? And we will need to adjust again. 8 games were played between Gravediggers on Gravedigger Crime. So let's go back to the statistics, pull out those, and figure it out. So it's going to be 28 games, 28 wins goes down to 24, and 16 and 20 losses goes down to goes down 4 to 16. So 16 out of 24. We go up to a 66.66% win percentage. So eclipsing what we have on the Old Umbry side significantly. So a real big jump in win rate when we take out the mirrors. So with the mirrors, their percentages go through the roof, and you get a much clearer picture So what are they beating up on? Well, the things that they've beat up on the most is Storm Legion. 8 games into Storm Legion, 75% win rate. So went 6 for 8 into Storm Legion today. Won 2 games against Winter Corps of the 3 that they played. A 63% win rate into Dusk House Callus, 8 games played. So that is 5 out of 8 games go to Gravediggers over Dusk. 50% win rate into Shadowflame Shard, 4 games played, so 2 and 2. 50% win rate into Talion Charter, so 1 win, 1 loss of the 2 games played. 40% win rate into Necrofactorium, so again 2 out of 5. 33% win rate into Brine Bloods, so 1 for 3. And they did not win a game into Old Umbry, 0 for 2. They won their Infernals game, won their single Rulik game, won both games into Storm of the North, and won 1 game into Sea Raiders. So Gravediggers had a great day, great time. 53% win rate for Sea Raiders through day 1. 27 games played, 15 and 12. Butcher, 5 games played, 4 and 1. He was the only other caster dropped besides Harusk. Had a great day, has the highest win percentage for Orgoth with 80%, but again, 5 games played sample size. On the Harusk side of things, 21 games played, 10 for 11 for a 48% win rate. All in all, it gives you 56% win rate between the two when blended together. And then on to Necrofactorium, 45 games played, 24 and 21, 53% win rate. We had 5 casters played. By far the most dropped caster. Kythos, 20 games played, 9 and 11, 45% win rate. So the lowest on the day. Care to venture who was the highest? It was Decathus. 4 games played, 3 and 1, 75% win rate. Aviserys, 9 games played, second highest amount, 6 and 3, 67% win rate. Then Sipsera with 5 games played, 3 and 2, 60% win rate. Mortenabra, 4 games played, went 2 and 2 for a 50% win rate. And that is your Necrofactorium breakdown. Which is pretty wild. The interesting bit to me is, despite the small sample size, how well Sipsera performed into the field that was teched for Kythos, and how poorly Kythos fared in a field that was teched for Kythos. The 45% win rate into Kythos makes sense, although there is a lot of mirror matches there that need to be accounted for. So let's jump in and just see what the mirror situation was on the day. So Crix had 6 games into Crix, so we need to adjust those numbers ever so slightly. So we need to be 21 for 18, or 18 for 21. Yeah, so with that, oh no, that's incorrect. I'm doing that incorrectly. So with that, should be 21 of 42. Again, just about a 50% win rate when you account for the Crix mirror. So when you take the Crix mirror out, things get a little nicer. Okay. We've got Infernals. Infernals were 52% win rate on the day. Zadaroth by far had the best performance. 17 games played, 10 up, 7 down, 59% win rate. Omadamos, 3 games played, 1 and 2 for a 33% win rate. Agathon, 1 game played, failed in the 1 game that she played. On to Stormy Legion. Stormy Legion, 50% win rate, 48 games, 24 and 24. Leader-wise, pretty well balanced, although Calder was our definite winner in terms of games played. She had 24 games played, 11 and 13, 46% win rate. Kane, 4, 11 games played, 6 and 5, 55% win rate. Huxley, 12 games played, 7 and 5, 58% win rate. And Anson Wolf, 1 game played, and he lost. So Wolf may not have been the right choice on the day. Winter Core, jumping over to Winter Core. Winter Core, 21 games played, 10 and 11, 48% win rate. Baranova, 4 games played, 3 up, 1 down, 75% win rate. Savrin, 4 games played, 2 up, 2 down, 50% win rate. Yana, 2 games played, 1 up, 1 down, 50% win rate. Vilcool, by far the most played caster with 8 games, 4 and 4, 50% win rate. Sakura, 3 games played, 0 for 3. Rough day for Sakura. Rough day for Sakura out there. It's hard being a bug. That is for certain. And then Brine Bloods on the day, 39 games played, 17 up, 22 down, 44% win rate. Ragemonger, 17 games played, by far and away the most played, 10 up, 7 down, 59% win rate. Then Shadow Tongue with 7 games played, 2 and 5, 29% win rate. Foul Blood, 3 games played, 1 and 2 on that, so just a 33% win rate. Fire Quill, 2 games played, 0 for 2. Thorga, 5 games played, 0 for 5. Thorga was not the right call at all into this. Oh my goodness. Thorga has some problems. And Biggity Bog, 1 game played, 0 for 1. So 3 troll casters for those counting at home played 8 games and went 0 for 8 combined for a 0% win rate. Ragemonger holding up the entire faction with his RNG. Speaking of holding up the entire faction, Shadowflame Shard, which again shows up in all 4 of our finalist lists, has 54 games played, 23 up, 31 down, 43% win rate. Most played caster was Shyrus, 19 games, 6 up, 13 down, 32% win rate. Next closest was Valix with 15 games played, 7 up, 8 down, 47% win rate. So what does that tell us? It tells us the field was very prepared for Shyrus and Kyrax. They are partially effective, but they are not universally effective. What was slightly better? Slightly better was Nixian, 5 games played, 3 and 2, 60% win rate. What was slightly better? Rassic, 4 games played, 2 up, 2 down, 50% win rate. What did not work at all? Valix, 1 game played, 0 for 1, 0% win rate. Yeah, so it is interesting to look at Shard. It's interesting to look at Shard across all of these events worldwide, and it's been this way for a long time. Shard is kind of a faction that attracts a lot of players. And a lot of players of varying skill, and there is a lot that goes into doing well with Shadowflame Shard at an event. And when you are in some of these high pressure events and you are in a field like this, the differences between winning and losing are very, very tight, very, very marginal, and even more so for Shadowflame Shard. To be honest, as somebody that plays the faction, um, if you misstep at all with Shadowflame Shard, your entire plan can come crashing down. There's not really a lot of redundancy, and there's not really a lot of forgiveness if dice go south in a specific situation, if you miscalculate something, if you don't layer properly, if you leave something just slightly in, uh, or the opponent just layers in such a way that you can't favorably trade at any point, it just becomes a very long day for Shadowflame Shard, and I think that's part of what you're seeing in their 43% win rate. The other bit that you're seeing is people were very prepared for Shyrus. Um, Shyrus Trike is not doing anything tricksy. It's not doing anything overly different, at least for the most part. There are some innovations within it. Um, I will point to Jamie Perkins, who went 3-0 today with Shyrus, responsible for half of the Shyrus win rate. Um, but his Shyrus list has a trike in it, and again, not innovative. Has a wyvern. Has a wyvern, and it has those flame stalkers, or has the wind stalkers. Um, that is a little bit of a wrinkle and a little bit of an innovation that we haven't seen meta-wise for a while. And something to be noteworthy and talk about. Also to be noteworthy and talk about is Lilith. 5 games played, 2 up, 3 down, 40% win rate. Fared better than Shyrus at the event. Uh, Still a sub 50% win rate, but a better win rate than I'd expected out of her. The 5 games is not insignificant in terms of the amount played. It is tied for third most for Shadowflame Shard. Again, the big two being Kyrax and Shyrus. But being a little off meta, as I've kind of been saying, is an advantage. Did it pan out completely for the two players? No, it didn't pan out completely, but they had some wins out of it. And wins are hard to come by at the WTC, and we celebrate those always. On to House Callus. House Callus, 40% win rate, 48 games played, 19 up, 29 down. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that Helith had 17 games played, most games played, 8 and 9, 47% win rate. Followed up by, drum roll please, Moraine, 16 games played, 5 for 11, 5 and 11, 31% win rate. Moraine in a team format is not good. I have said it before. I will say it again. We have seen it for the last 2 WTCs now. Moraine is not a good caster in a team environment. She is just not. The meta is very much stacked against spells. You cannot protect her enough. She does not do enough to move the needle. And it shows. And you've got a 31% win rate across a broad spectrum of games. Second most played for House Callus. And absolutely tanked the win rate. Helith at least was very close to 50-50. One more game played, 8 and 9. Coin flippy, but playable games. Then you go on to the third most played caster, which was Hazaroth. Hazaroth, 5 games played, 4 and 1, 80% win rate. Hazaroth, secret sauce. One of the big points here is that Poland Ards, Dusk player, playing a list with a Phantasm and Hazaroth and all of the Dreadguard to keep them upright with Hazaroth himself, list won all 3 of his matches today with that formula. So Hazaroth is more than just a pretty face. Hazaroth doing some work at the WTC, which is very interesting to see. It is a list that was looked at very heavily, was ultimately scrapped by several WTC teams, and a couple of WTC teams continued on with the concepting. But it is really cool to see that Hazaroth is doing well in this event. It is not surprising to see Moraine doing poorly in this event. I thought we already had data on this. It's great to have the data revalidated. Then we have Tyrus, 4 games played, 1 and 3. Poor Tyrus did not have a good day today. And Seraphel, again, Tyrus kind of runs into the same issue that Moraine does, but Tyrus has a worse spell, which is odd to say because I love Stranglehold. I play a caster that has Stranglehold, which is Rezdakova. But the meta is very anti-spell right now, and he gets caught in that. His advantage is that he has threat extension for the army and can overcome terrain, so you can utilize him to pick up a table that might be difficult for your team. So there's some flexibility with him. And then you got Seraphel. Seraphel, 3 games played, 1 and 2, 33% win rate. Seraphel's cute. Really cute caster. I don't know that I believe in Seraphel. And the numbers are currently backing me up, but again, super small sample size, but only a 33% win rate. Dusk continues to just struggle bus the whole way. So it's interesting to see the last armies with any amount of games beyond a single player playing them is Army of the Western Reaches, which has 3 players playing, so 9 games played. 3 out of 6, 3 and 6 on the day, 33% win rate. Italian Charter, 2 players playing it, so 6 games played. Went 2 and 4 on the day, 33% win rate. And Grimkin Storm Knights, 33%. Legion of the Dawn, 33%. Temple Guardians, Convergence of Cirrus, Rulic Guard, Ravens of War, Dragon Host, all with goose eggs on their 3 games played, all 0% win rates. Legacy is a tale of haves and have-nots. The haves are doing exceedingly well, and the have-nots are not. And no shade to anybody. For those that are curious, the 3 scenarios played today were Payload, Wolves at our heels in round 2, and then 2 fronts. 60% of the games were won. 60 games were won via assassination today, 34 via death clock, 5 concessions, and 138 via scenario. So scenario, the most recognized way to win at the WTC today. Assassination, second most. Death clock getting 34 folks. And then first player had a 54% win rate. Second player had a 46% win rate. Pretty fantastic display of first player advantage through the first round. We'll see if that holds. But those are the stats for day 1. We have great matchups going into round 4. Again, England Paddington, USA Condors on table 1. So that should be the stream game tomorrow morning. Belgian Draft and Finland Husley. You've got Canada Terry Fair and Austria Legend in round 4. You've got France Sutamax and Portugal Prime. You've got French Ashotrux and Finland Morco. You've got USA Jackrabbits and Norway Munin. Huge game with podium implications as USA Jackrabbits tries to get back into position where they can hopefully make podium. But they need to do well in Norway Munin. You've got Italy Phoenix into Australia Kookaburras. Huge game again with podium implications. Italy Phoenix has to do well into Kookaburras. Otherwise, Kookaburras can jump right back into the mix for podium. You've got Canada Frederick Banting into Denmark Brave Tin Soldiers. You've got Norway Hugin into Denmark Little Mermaids. You've got Sweden Jormungandr into Germany Eirlichter. Again, chances to go ahead and redeem yourselves, get yourself in a position for podium. Sweden Sarman into Italian Gladiators. You've got Germany Walpertinger and Poland Ard vying for a spot in the finals. You've got Belgian Blue White and Netherlands Panicoke. You've got England's King Cross into USA Bison. Again, huge implications for uh, being able to be in position to podium for both King's Cross and USA Bison. Huge matchup. You've got Poland Igni and Australia Numbats. Again, both with potential to go ahead and get themselves back into podium contention with a really strong showing against each other. And you've got England Excaliburs and Sweden Fenris. What a WTC. What a WTC. What a round four we have coming up. I cannot wait to watch this tomorrow. I cannot wait to share it all with you. Uh, this is the best part about War Machine is the community and seeing how top level play can excite the community, excite the imagination. The stream today was off the chain. Over 100 people for the majority of it. We had a ton of folks coming in and asking questions in the stream. A lot of new folks, a lot of returning folks. Uh, it was really cool to see. And I encourage everyone to tune in the stream tomorrow. It's going to be an early one for us in the U.S. It's like a 3:40, 4 o'clock in the morning stream. But you know what? I'll be up. I'll be watching. I'll be supporting my guys as they try to take down England Paddington for the right to be in the finals. All right. Appreciate y'all. We will cover it all again tomorrow. And thanks for listening.